About this time a year from now, Reese Donahue of Cabell Midland High School will be getting set to sign his letter of intent with West Virginia. He committed to the Mountaineers over the weekend. It's our pleasure to be joined now by Reese on the phone. Reese, good evening to you. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing well, man. I would imagine it's been a bit of a whirlwind over the past week or last few days. You visited Morgantown, got offered the scholarship, but took a day, went ahead and committed on Sunday. Has it all sunk in, what all's transpired over the past week?
I mean, it's still kind of hard to wrap my head around what's happening, but, I mean, it's just I wouldn't have it any other way. It's perfect.
How much does it mean to you getting the opportunity to play at the D1 level and at West Virginia? I know you've said several times you wanted to be able to play football and have your education paid for, and now that's going to happen. What does that mean to you?
It means a whole lot. It's a lot less stress on myself. It's a lot less stress on my family. Being able to know that I'm going to college, just strictly off of football, and it's just a great thing to know.
Reese, when you came up this weekend for Junior Day, any inkling that an offer was forthcoming?
I expected it just a little bit, but I tried to keep my hopes down because, I didn't want to get ahead of myself. Or I didn't want to, think about, well, let's say they offer me and then they didn't offer me. I didn't want to, think too far ahead, but I kind of had a good feeling about going up there, and I'm just really excited the way everything panned out. It just worked out fantastically, and I couldn't ask for anything else.
So run us through what happened. How did the offer come out?
Well, so we arrived there night before, got there that morning to WVU. They took us in. We got registered for the camp, the Junior Day. And once we got there, Tony Gibson, the defensive coordinator, escorted us around along with Coach Tall, who was formerly at Charlotte. Coach Seidel was also there as well, who my head coach, Coach Sammons, had been in contact with. They all kind of escorted my family around, and I knew something was going on when they had drawn most of their attention towards me, and I was really excited. I kind of saw the writing on the wall. So we just came around and talked a little bit, not even stuff about football, just about how I'm doing and what's going on in my personal life, because that's really important to them. And so Coach Holgerson actually comes up, and we talked for a good 15 or 20 minutes, all four coaches and my parents and myself. After that, Coach Gibson walked away with Coach Holgerson. Coach Gibson came back, led us to a conference room. There he offered me, and we discussed everything that, went along with the offer. And it happened so quick. It was awesome. It happened early in the day, too. So.
Did you almost just want to accept it right then? I imagine that as a guy who just recently, Coach Hunter, bought a car, you test drive the new car and you just want to jump on it right then, but it's probably best to at least take a day. Was that kind of the situation you had to take a day to think about it?
Yeah, I was really holding myself back because, it's just like you said, and it's kind of like I was told by one of the other guys, Logan Simmons. He's a 2016 linebacker recruit, and this is what he told me when he committed. He said, it's kind of like a marriage. When somebody asks you to marry them, you don't have to say, well, let me think about it. You know, and it was the right place. And but I didn't want to make a impulse decision. I didn't want to wait on it and see what happened. But I knew that ultimately WVU was where I wanted to go, no matter what.
All three of those comparisons I can relate to. I've done the marriage thing, got a new car. Can't do the committing to a program yet, but I have done those two, Coach Hunter. And Reese, more on you. You tore it up through camps last year at Top Gun, earned a spot at the U.S. National Combine, which just took place last month. What did you take out of those camps? Obviously, that was a key part of getting your name out there in terms of recruiting, but what did you take out of those camps from your play on the field?
Well, first of all, I'd like to say I'm blessed to even have the opportunity to attend those camps, and I'm blessed to be in my position. But what I did pick up from those camps, the first camp at FVU, I picked up some skills and techniques because, I had just been recently moved to the defensive end spot my sophomore year. Following that Top Gun, I knew that I was pretty good. I was all right, but I didn't really think that I had the skills to compete with some of the guys that I knew I'd be going with. And once I saw that I was doing quite well, actually, at the Top Gun, they sent me to the U.S. Army, and there I knew that I had an opportunity to do something big with my football career, and so it just all worked out perfectly. And it's amazing. It's just amazing.
Reese, you said they moved you at Cabell Midland to defensive end this year. Where else have you played?
Actually, they moved me my sophomore year, but
Okay.
I've played everywhere. Back in Little League, I played line and fullback and tight end. They moved me to tight end in middle school, wide receiver in middle school. I actually played quarterback my freshman year, believe it or not, and then the sophomore year they moved me to defensive end.
Is that ultimately the position West Virginia likes you at? Do you think you get bigger and move inside? What's your final position, do you think, in college?
They plan on keeping me at defensive end, but the reason that Coach Gibson did not offer me before Coach Holgerson came and saw me is because they wanted to make sure, just in case, that I did not put on weight. Because I'm 235-ish right now, a little over 235. And they said, 260 is about where the collegiate defensive end is, and that's not a bad number. And so, they said if I didn't pack on the weight, they would like to move me to the offensive side to play tight end. But they expect me to put on the weight, and they said that it shouldn't be a problem.
You seem like a guy, though, that would be willing to play just about wherever you're needed, though.
Yeah, as long as I get on the field, I don't care. I'll play center. I really don't care.
I talked with your high school coach, Coach Salmons, there yesterday. I had a text to him, and I saw you guys have 8 guys from this year's class going to play at some point at the next level, and they all haven't made up their mind yet. But who else is going to be in the mix there out of your junior class in terms of playing at the next level? Anyone else?
Yeah, I got a couple names in my head. So if anybody's listening, I don't mean to leave you out, and I also don't mean
kind of an unfair question by me to throw it out there, but go ahead.
Right. Well, I don't mean to exclude anybody, but the first couple names that I think of would be like Jacob Hendricks and Caperton Humphrey. Those two guys worked their tails off. I know yesterday in the weight room, Kate busted a medicine ball when we were doing some drills. Yeah, big 15-pound medicine ball, split it right open, and those guys are busting their tail, and so those two are for those guys I expect to play at the next level, along with a bunch of linemen and linebackers, man. We got some guys. I expect at least 8 guys coming out of my class.
Do you know Dylan Tonkery at all, the other in-state commitment right now for 2016?
I did. I met him.
Okay. Okay. Well, very cool one. Reese, I'll tell you what, we'll let you go. I really do appreciate the time. Congratulations again to you, and we'll continue to watch you as you head into your senior year next season, and I'm sure we'll catch up some point down the road.
All right, that sounds great. Thank you.
All right, thank you. There you go. That is Reese Donahue, defensive end commitment for West Virginia, the class of 2016.